Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, news and entertainment with a buzz. This one is called You Cannot Be Pum Pum Wise and Hospital or DEATH Foolish. There's a scam that has been going around for a little while. It is called You Give Me Some of This, meaning cash. I give you or she give you some of that, which is pum pum. However, sometimes what you get is not as advertised. You get gunshot and you could even lose your life. Such is the case of a victim name not given. He met a young lady known as Keifa Lee Gilchrist. She lives in Riverton Meadows. It is said that he met that young lady, and based on what the victim said when he made his report to the police station, he went to her house in Riverton Meadows to pick up a package, meaning PUMS, codename Pum Pum. Based on information, it is said that 21-year-old Keifa Lee Gilchrist asked the man to drop her off at the house, like I said, Riverton Meadows. When he reached to that place, she exited the vehicle and asked the man to follow her. Soon after he was following her, he saw a man come out of nowhere, poof, just like Houdini. Wheel and pop off a toll, blaze him up, take with the vehicle. He was rushed to the hospital. After he left the hospital, he made a police report. I am going to let the eloquent persons at TVJ News or one of those established places explain everything in intricate details, and then I am going to give my piece. Take a listen, take a look.
Reports are that about 7:20 p.m., the victim transported Ms. Gilchrist to Riverton Meadows under the pretext of collecting a personal item. Upon reaching the destination, Ms. Gilchrist allegedly exited the vehicle and instructed the driver to follow her. Shortly after, a gunman approached the vehicle and opened fire, injuring the driver. The victim was transported to hospital where he was treated and a report made to the police. A probe was launched and Ms. Gilchrist apprehended. She was subsequently charged with wounding with intent, conspiracy to commit wounding with intent, robbery with aggravation, conspiracy to commit robbery, possession of unauthorized ammunition, using a firearm to commit a felony, and accessory after the fact. The police say they are actively pursuing the other person involved in this incident. The police are urging anyone with information to contact the Hunts Bay CIB at 876-926-6197, Crime Stop at 311, the National Intelligence Bureau at 811, the 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station.
So, people, you heard what the newsman had to say. 7 p.m. or so, this man met this young lady. Maybe they knew each other before, maybe they met on social media, don't really know the intricate details. However, he decided to go to a place known as Riverton Meadow. Now, people, no disrespect to anybody, but when you hear about Riverton, we are talking about a dumb place. We are talking about a garrison. Don't know, don't quote me on it. It is the same thing as if you hear about Tivoli Gardens. There's not much garden there. It is mostly concrete jungle. Not the same as if you talk about Cherry Gardens or one of those places. That means if you are not from there, more than likely you are not supposed to be there, or you're going to be treated like you don't belong, an outcast. This man claims that he went on some sort of pick up a package mission. Don't know if he works for one of those courier service or what. However, I think that he went on a pum pum mission. Just call it that. Because this is something that has been happening for a couple of years now. It is not new, but a lot of persons are new or old fool. These young ladies, they go to Tree, them go busy thoroughfares, and them meet and mingle with men, them dress up scantily. So therefore, you know, so if a man kind of cake up, him thirsty, him want some sex, he is going to be an easy target. And such is the case as it pertains to the victim of Keisha Lee Gilchrist. So pretty much in this scam, the young ladies lure these men to volatile communities such as Riverton Meadows. Them surprise them, shock and awe them, have men waiting for them, set up it is called. They then rob them for their vehicle, shut them up most of the time. Sometimes them even lose them life, such is life. They then take that vehicle and put it in the odds and try to sell the vehicle. Then when people come to buy that vehicle because they don't have proper documentation, they would then rob these victims. So it is a cycle of criminality. Sometimes some of people are working at the tax office and they get paperwork and sell it. However, it is still illegal. So pretty much he went for some pumps and he got pam up. Thief him car, take away him car, almost take away him life. Went to the police station and made a formal report. Now people, here's the thing like I said. You cannot be penny wise or pound foolish. Remix, you cannot be pum wise and be hospital or modern foolish, dovecat foolish. So young men out there, old men out there that are doing the same old stuff. The definition of insanity is doing the same old stuff and expecting new result. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is confirmed that in excess of 5,000 Jamaicans, they are going to be on their way back to Jamaica from whence they came. It is said that there is a final removal order that was placed through the court, whether it was done legally or illegally. When it comes to Trump, anything goes. Based on how Trump's administration call these people criminal aliens, I want you to take a look to what the spokesperson for Trump has to say as it pertains to that, and then I'll give my piece.
He said he was going to focus on those violent offenders first. So is violent offenders no longer the predicate for these people to be deported?
The president has said countless times on the campaign trail, I've been with him at the rallies, I know you've been there covering them too, Peter, that he is focused on launching the largest mass deportation operation in American history of illegal criminals. And if you are an individual, a foreign national, who illegally enters the United States of America, you are, by definition, a criminal. And so therefore, you are subject to deportation.
So people, you heard what she said. Once you enter the country and you overstay, it is an illegal act. It is a criminal act. You're then declared as a criminal, especially if you have any sorts of criminal past, whether you had a green card or not, you are still eligible to be removed, meaning deportation. Now, the other day we saw that the governor of Florida, Mr. DeSantis, he came out and he said that they are putting a clampdown on remittance. That means people that are illegal, don't have no paperwork, don't have any sorts of documentation. Whenever they go to MoneyGram or Western Union or one of those remittance places, they are going to be blocked. They might even be arrested. I want you to take a look at exactly what an economist in Jamaica has to say, the negative trickle-down effect that it will have on Jamaicans. Take a look.
A third of households in Jamaica rely on remittances, whether in part or in as a whole. So that amounts to around, say, 300,000, because there are almost 1 million households in Jamaica. So the impact, while we can't quantify it precisely right now, you would expect that it would be very significant. I think it's likely to also affect remittance companies, because, there are other means of sending remittances, that through various apps, or you can send them informally. You also have persons who will carry cash as remittances when they're coming back to Jamaica via plane, because persons who can send remittances, they'll probably just do it on behalf of those who can't. So this, I would say, is fairly far-reaching. We know remittances have always formed a very critical part of Jamaican income. We're talking about, on average, $3 billion for the last couple of years, especially in the context now where remittances are declining. they're normalizing to pre-COVID levels, and that's partially a function of the state of the economy both in Jamaica and the U.S. The ICE raids that are going on is going to affect the economy a whole lot. Another big problem we're having is that previous administrations would put limits on ICE on the places that they could raid. They were not allowed to go into churches or places of worship, whether it's a church, a mosque, whatever. They're not allowed to go into hospitals, schools, daycare centers, weddings, funerals. All of that has gone away. They are now given carte blanche to go wherever they want, do whatever they want.
So people, you heard what the Trump administration had to say about persons who are in America illegally. Whether you was there illegally and you commit an illegal act, you're eligible for deportation. That includes the 5,000 plus that is coming back home. You heard from the expert economists about the negative impact that this remittance problem is going to have. So people, we are talking about a very bad negative effect. So for all of you persons that voted for Trump because you want to make America great again, it seems as if America is only going to get Hitler, and they have their own Hitler. And you're not a part of the equation. I know that a lot of you want to belong, want to be associated with something. Well, there it goes. That is exactly what you voted for. The sad thing is that the problem just started. And what is even worse, when we compound the fact that 5,000 persons plus are coming home, a lot of them are going to be criminals that have been living in the United States, committed all sorts of criminal activity. So we're going to be adding more criminals on top of criminals. Some people just don't have the paperwork, proper documentation. But best believe there are going to be a whole bunch of criminals that are going to be coming back to Jamaica on some sorts of flight. Don't know if it is going to be some sorts of commercial flight, some military plane, or send them back in a container, send them back on banana boat. But best believe they are coming back fly high or fly low. And you know that the government of Jamaica, that is licky, is not going to say no or decline or deny entry, because they know that they don't want to get any sorts of restriction, as in visa. So people, the problem that Jamaica has is going to be more compounded with more criminals. Because if the government of Jamaica and management of Jamaica cannot take care of the legal persons that are here, what is going to happen when these criminals come back home or these deportees come back home? It is going to be mucho problemo, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called long run, short catch. Don't thief if you can't hide. I am not encouraging anybody to thief, but me just say, if you know that you don't have the skill sets to rob people and take them away, why gain the person's personal goods, their vehicle, and then get locked up, get life imprisonment, which is exactly what you deserve. I am speaking about an incident that took place in a place called Pyramid Heights that is in St. Anne over the weekend, Saturday, where the body of 72-year-old Loris Murray, retired nurse from United States, returning residents, built a nice house in a Pyramid Heights, bought the other lots across the street so that she could farm. However, she lost her life, unfortunately. It is said that between Friday night to Saturday morning, the helper came to work, found her stiff stone cold in a pool of her own, blood, injured to the head, and it seems as if somebody might have jumped over the fence. They took at least one vehicle that belonged to that lady. However, based on information that I am getting, it is said that at least 3 suspects are now in the custody of the police. I want you to take a listen, take a look to what persons from the church and the police organization, JCF, has to say, and then I'll give my piece.
We pray that before the officer comes, before the gun is pointed at them, before the trigger is pressed, that they'll make up their minds and change their ways. Oh God, I pray, God, for there have been just too much bloodletting. It's not that they are crying on that particular year, crying and retirees, but we are watching the trend and we are working with our community stakeholders to ensure that we keep the community safe.
So people, you heard what the police and you heard what the church people had to say. A very disgusting act that was done on this lady. The sad thing is that less than a couple of months ago, an ex-resident, 72-year-old, I think his name is Mr. I don't remember his name. He lost his life the same way at the same place. The police is, however, saying that they do not think, do not is the operative word, because obviously they don't know, because they have not gotten the suspect for the takeaway of that man before. The sad thing is that, yes, them hold 3 people. However, it will not bring back that lady's life. The lives of the family members that came to Jamaica retired. Things that them are retire in a peace. The mother is now resting in peace, unfortunately. The sad thing is that the police did not do what they are supposed to do to these 3 individuals that are suspect. They should have gotten nothing less than Tarzan and Jane justice. But the thing is that after you leave the scene of the crime and people catch you, persons in your own neighborhood, your own family member that might have seen the news would have called the police, because they must said to themselves, no man, these youths are getting carried away. This is a very disturbing trend that we see in Jamaica, where persons leave from America, leave from Canada, leave from UK, work decades in the snow, sleet and storm, come back home only to retire, end up resting in peace. It is a very sad state of affairs in Jamaica, and this is a next perfect example, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, the hospital in Savlamar that is in Westmoreland was surprised when they saw a young man, 13-year-old, rushed in. His name is Keyshawn Watson. He used to attend Little London High School, used to be in the operative word because he is no longer with us. He lost his will to survive. He died in the hospital under surgery. Based on the information, it is said that it was self-inflicted, meaning that he might have been playing with some sorts of illegal tool. The other thing that we are hearing is that other children, teenagers were also in the house playing with the tool, and the tool went off, hitting Mr. Watson in the head. Now we know that automatically, if a child or anyone goes to the hospital, investigation is going to be done. They want to know where this incident took place. Is that gun illegal or legal? They then went to the residence to seek and find the gun, see what was the details. However, the gun was not recovered. Now, people, that tells you that this gun is illegal. It tells you that somebody in this family is some sort of criminal element. And because of them harboring a tool involved in illegal activity, it came back and it haunted the son, haunted the relative. Like them say, sometimes the sins of the father haunts the son. Sad to say, if this youth was innocent, if this youth was not a part of any sort of criminal organization giving him the benefit of the doubt because of his age, then he should not have lost his life. And even if he was, that was not the proper sentencing. There was possible redemption, possible being the operative word. If this was America, those persons responsible, and a couple of them have been locked up pending charge, pending question and answer session in the company of their lawyer. So if the investigation determines that they should be held liable, whomever is responsible, they should be charged with negligent homicide, causing the death of this minor because of their incompetence and irresponsible acts. Also charged for the toll, even if they did not recover it. The fact that somebody was hit, it tells you that some sort of tool was in the presence of that house. It is a very sad state of affairs in Jamaica, and this is yet the next perfect example, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is that we see that 3 persons got caught up off Whitehall Avenue. It is said that these persons were at a bar, drinking some J-Ray and Neville, sipping on some scissors, smoking some weed. When a vehicle rolled up, the men in the vehicle alighted from the vehicle, run them down and GUN them down. One specific individual was run down and GUN down. He pretty much lost his life on the spot. 2 other individuals were caught in the crossfire. They were taken to the hospital. However, unfortunately, one did not make it. It is said that the bartender that was at the bar, she was okay. She was not hit. Nothing happened to her. Now, people, here's the thing. When it comes to bar, when it comes to hangout spot, when it comes to playing domino, when it comes to playing Lodi, it is best if you stay at your yard, and I understand that you might be bored at your yard and you work hard and you want to come out and get some sorts of stress relief. But you have to ask yourself the question, especially if you live in a volatile community, is it worth the entertainment to sacrifice your life? Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.